A farmer, let's check. Okay, good. Good. $257,375. You put $187,375. So this is not correct. So let's think about this. A library owned 245,860 books. It purchased 18,975 new books and later removed 7,460 damaged books. How many books does the library have now? So the library initially, meaning it started with 245,888, sorry. It started originally with 245,860 books, and then it bought 18,975 books. So after it bought 18,975 books, so you add that to 245,860, because that's now how many it has. Whatever 245,860 plus 18,975 is. And let's do that. And then it removed 7,460 books. So here's how many it had initially. 245,860. It purchased 18,975 books. So we're going to add these numbers. 0 plus 5 is 5. 6 plus 7 is 13. Put the 3 here, carry the 1. 9 plus 8 is 17, plus 1 is 18. 8 plus 5 is 13, plus 1 is 14. 4, 5, 6, 2. So now it has 264,835 books. But then later removed 7,460 damaged books. So that means we're going to subtract 7,460 from this number. 5 minus 0 is 5. 3 minus 6 can't do. Borrow. 13 minus 6 is 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. 4 minus 7 can't do. Borrow. 14 minus 7 is 7. 5 minus nothing is 5. 2 minus nothing is 257,375. Yeah. So this is how many books it has now. It's 257,000. Sorry. I think I may cut this up. 257,375. This is how many it has now. So you got part of the numbers correct, so I'll give only 1 point. But you missed some numbers, so 1 credit just because you do share some numbers, but since you missed more than 1 number, it's a decent amount of points off. So I'll give maybe 1 point for that. Simplify mentally. Here we go. These you should be able to do in your head, but if you want, you could do it on paper. So 3.64. Whenever you have a number, a decimal number, and you're multiplying it by a 1 followed by zeros, you're simply just going to move the decimal point with however many zeros there are. If you had 3.64 times 1, you would just leave it as 3.64. 3.64 times 10, you would move decimal point 1 place to the right, and then you would have 36.4. 3.64 times 100, so we have 2 zeros, means you're going to move it 2 places to the right. So it looks like you did that. You moved it 2 places to the right. That means you got full credit for that one. So you moved it 2 places to the right because you have a 1, you're multiplying it and it's got 2 zeros. So therefore, you can move it 2 places to the right. Or, of course, you could do it the mentally trick, right? Or you could just do it 364 times 100. And then you could move the decimal point at the end of the problem if you wanted to. You'll get the same answer regardless. But this answer is correct. So you got 3 points. 4.7946 times 1,000. Well, we got 3 zeros. That means we're going to move it 3 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3. 479.4.6 switch it. 479.4.6. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you moved it 4 places to the right. And you're only supposed to move it 3 places to the right. Because there's 3 zeros, right? It looks like you moved it 4 places to the right instead of 3. So you don't get credit for that one because the decimal point's in the wrong place. 68.59 divided by 100. Again, this time we're dividing by 100. We're not multiplying by 100. That means instead of moving it to the right, you're going to move it to the left since you're dividing. So because you're dividing, you have 2 zeros, you're going to move it 2 places to the left. It looks like you moved it 2 places to the right instead of 2 places to the left. So again, your decimal point is in the wrong place. So no credit for that one. For this one, you're dividing by 10. So you're dividing, you're going to move it to the left. And there's 1 0, right? So that means you're going to move it 1 place to the left. You moved it 1 place to the right instead of 1 place to the left. If it said times 10, then yes, this would be the correct answer. You would move it 1 place to the right. But this isn't times 10. This is divided by 10. So you're supposed to move it 1 place to the left. So there's no points in that one. For this one, let's check your answer. I can already see in my head this is wrong because this is 5,963 and you're subtracting 5,900 approximately. So you should have got an answer well below 100. And you got like 53,000 is what you wrote. You wrote 53,727. But then here, 5,963 and 6/10 minus 5,909. So I can already see in my head this is wrong, so I'm just going to put 0. But I'll go ahead and do the math. Without even checking this, I can see it's wrong in my head. Let's explain how to do that. So here's the problem. 5963.6 minus 5909. 5909 is the same thing as 0.0, right? You could do 5. If you don't see a decimal point in a number, you always put it to the right of the ones digit. Anytime you don't see a decimal number. Anytime you don't see a decimal point number, this is where it goes. And then if you wanted, you could write 0. That way you have something for the 6. 6 minus 0 is, and remember the decimal points have to line up, right? Place values have to match. Always remember that. The place value of this 3 is 1s, right? The place value of this 9 in the original problem would have been 1s, right? Remember the place values have got to match. You can't do something like this. 5963.6 minus 5909. This is not correct. Because look, the place value of this 9 would be 1s, right? The place value of the 6 is not 1s, it's 10ths, right? It's 1 place to the right decimal point. The place value of this 3 would be 1s. So remember, the place values have to line up like here, right? You have to align the place values. 6 minus 0 is 6. 3 minus 9 can't do. 13 minus 9 is 4. Remember, carry decimal point. 5 minus 0 is 5. 9 minus 9 is 0. 5 minus 5 is 0. So your answer is 54.6. And again, if you start with zeros before you get to the first, when it's to the left of the decimal point, you don't have to write the zeros. So your answer should have been 54.6. You got 53727, which is way off. Now, part B, you got 59384 minus 9.57. again, I can see in my head that's wrong. Look, this is 59,384, and you're only subtracting less than 10, right? Which is 9.57, 9 and 57 hundredths. So this is not even 10, right? You're subtracting 59,000 and you're only taking away 9. Picture there's $59,000 and you're taking away $9. You're not gonna get $58, which is what you got. So it appears that you wrote the decimal point in the wrong place. But let's go ahead and work that problem. So it is 0 points. But let me show you how it's done. So, okay, hang on, let me. So here was the original problem. It is 0, let's see. Wait, 59, right? 384 minus 9.57. You got to figure out how to line this up. Remember, place values have to align. This would not be correct way to line it up. You cannot do this. This is not correct. The place values have to line up. Because look, in this top number, place values of the 4 is a 1, right? Ones place. The place value of the 4 is in the ones place. The place value of the 7 is in the hundredths place. So you can't line it up like this. The place values have got to align. So this is the correct way to line it up. It would be 59,384. And again, whenever you don't see a decimal on a number, you always put it to the right of the ones digit. Then you do minus 9.57. This is how you would line it up. See how the place values are lining up? The place value of the 4 is in the ones place, and the place value of the 9 is in the ones place, right? I mean, the 4 is in the ones place, and the 9 is in the ones place. See how I have them lining up? You've got to do that. Place values have got to align. When you're adding and subtracting decimals, you must align the place values. Okay, so let's insert zeros here because we need something to subtract from, right? Whenever you don't see numbers, you can insert 0. That way every number has a partner. And of course, right, 59,384.00. That's just the same thing as 59,384. Okay, let's go ahead. 0 minus 7 I can't do. So I'm going to come over here and borrow, get a 3, 10, 9, 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 5 is 4. Align a decimal point. 3 minus 9 can't do, come borrow the 8, make it a 7. 13 minus 9 is 4. 7 minus nothing is 7. 3 minus nothing is 3. 9 minus nothing is 9. 5 minus nothing is 5. So your answer is 59,374.43. And that's how you do the problem. Now let's go on to part C. This says 955,774.4923 times this number. Okay. Let's just check to see if it's correct. I can already see in my head it's incorrect because I'm imagining there's a decimal point to the right, right? Remember, whenever you don't see a decimal point in a number, it always goes to the right of the ones digit. And I'm just picturing there's zeros right here. So I'm picturing this number minus a bunch of zeros. My answer should end in 0.49293, right? And it doesn't appear that's the case. But let's go ahead and go over the problem. Let's do, here was the problem, right? 955,774.49293 minus 492,942. Okay, this is how we'd line it up, remember? Place values have to match. This is what you can't do. I'm going to show you what you can't do, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do. You cannot do this. 492942. I don't know why I put a minus out there. Just forget it's there. This is what you can't do. Can't line it up like this. Look. Because the place value of the 2 is in the 1's place, right? The place value of the 3 is in the 10ths, 100ths, thousands, 10,000, 100,000 place. Look. The 100,000s versus 1s. The place values have to match, remember? Because look, remember there's a decimal point right here. The decimal points have to line up, right? The decimal points need to line up and the place values have to match. So this is not the correct way to line it up. The correct way to line up would be this way. 955,774.49293 minus 492,942. This is how I would line it up. And remember, whenever you don't see a decimal point in a number, always put it to the right of the 1's digit. Okay, so I'm going to put zeros in here to insert